Enterprise AI doesn't end when a model works. It needs governance, clear approvals, accountable owners, continuous monitoring, and auditable decisions from intake through retirement. In this module, we'll connect security controls with responsible oversight across the full AI lifecycle. So far, we've built the technical foundation: architecture, identity, application controls, supply chain validation, monitoring, and response. Now we bring those pieces together through governance, so AI systems can be approved, operated, changed, monitored, and retired responsibly. Governance becomes the control plane for AI because risk is not owned by one team. A model can be technically strong and still create legal privacy, security, or business exposure. Governance connects those perspectives into clear decisions: who approves a use case, deploys a model, monitors drift, handles incidents, and retires the system. It also turns controls into evidence, so leaders can show regulators, customers, and auditors that AI is being used responsibly and within risk appetite. An AI governance operating model turns good intentions into repeatable decisions. Start with a steering committee that sets strategy, priorities, risk appetite, and policy direction. Then assign owners for the business outcome, model behavior, data, security, privacy, and legal obligations. High-risk use cases, production releases, and major model changes should go through an approval board. When an exception is needed, document the rationale, compensating controls, expiry date, and executive sign-off. Ownership has to be explicit for governance to work. The business owner is accountable for the use case, the value promised, user impact, and accepted risk. The model owner manages performance, limitations, versions, evaluations, and lifecycle evidence. Data owners protect provenance, consent, retention, classification, and quality. Security, privacy, legal, compliance, and audit should be formal reviewers with defined authority, not informal advisors. The goal is simple: every important decision has a named owner. Governance starts when an AI idea is proposed, not after development is complete. Intake makes the proposal concrete. The use case, business need, data, users, environment, vendors, and possible harms. Risk triage then asks how autonomous the system is, how widely it will operate, how critical the decisions are, and what explanation or compliance is required. The outcome is proportionate routing. Low-risk work moves quickly, while higher-risk systems receive deeper review before approval. Before an AI model goes live, accuracy is only one gate. Teams also need evidence that performance holds on representative data, security risks have been tested, privacy and legal obligations are satisfied, and operations can handle failure. That means documenting thresholds, known limitations, prohibited uses, fallback procedures, and human escalation paths. A pre-deployment review turns the model works into the model is ready, appropriate, and controlled for this business context. Controlled deployment prevents a model from moving straight from experimentation into production. It progresses through separated environments, with each promotion backed by evidence: model review, risk assessment, security checks, compliance review, and an operational runbook. For higher impact systems, formal sign-off becomes the release gate. The deployment record should connect the model version, data version, configuration, owner, approval, and release date, so teams can audit decisions and roll back safely if needed. Think of an AI release as a bundle, not a single model file. The model version, prompts, datasets, embeddings, retrieval index, guardrails, API settings, and infrastructure all need version identifiers. When any material piece changes, decide whether review, validation, or approval is required before deployment. For high-risk changes, use a formal advisory process. And keep release notes, evidence, and prior configurations, so behavior can be traced and rolled back quickly. Once an AI system is live, governance shifts into active assurance. Operational signals such as latency, errors, availability, and user feedback show whether the service is healthy. AI-specific signals, including model drift, data drift, hallucinations, unsafe outputs, and guardrail triggers, show whether behavior is changing. Security and compliance events such as SIM and DLP alerts should feed the same workflow. Based on risk and criticality, The system is then periodically recertified or remediated. AI models also need an orderly exit strategy. Retirement begins when clear triggers appear: drift, vendor support ending, policy or regulatory change, or a better replacement. From there, plan the transition for users, APIs, and dependent workflows. Preserve the evidence, including approvals, evaluations, incidents, logs, and model documentation. Then close the system cleanly by archiving artifacts, handling data according to retention rules, revoking access, disabling endpoints, and creating a final audit record. An ethical AI policy turns principles into rules people can follow. Fairness, safety, transparency, accountability, and human oversight all need operational meaning. What must be tested, what must be disclosed, who is responsible, and when humans must intervene. The policy also needs boundaries. It should name approved uses, prohibit high-risk or harmful uses, require disclosure when AI affects people, and define escalation paths when bias, harm, unsafe outputs, or violations appear. Exceptions are controlled risk decisions, not shortcuts. When an AI system cannot meet a control, document the business reason, the control gap, the risk impact, the compensating control, and the expiry date. Approval should match the risk tier, with high-risk exceptions escalated to executives or the board. Keep every exception in one tracker with an owner, remediation plan, review date, and overdue status. Reassess whenever the model, incident history, regulation, or exposure changes. Auditability is built throughout the AI lifecycle, not created at the end when someone asks for a report. Model and system cards, risk assessments, approvals, tests, prompts, policies, access logs, monitoring results, and incident records all become evidence. The key is linking that evidence to security, telemetry, and compliance obligations, so internal audit, regulators, customers, and executives can see what was decided, who approved it, and whether controls actually operated. The core message is simple: govern AI with the same rigor used to secure it. Clear ownership, lifecycle controls, and ethical policies help ensure models are approved, traceable, monitored, accountable, and retired safely. Next, we extend this foundation into bias testing, explainability, compliance, continuity, and human factors.